Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today's video is a storytime video about the work experience I had to do as a young child within my secondary education. Now I'm sure that around the world the way that the education system deals with work experience varies, but when I was in school here in the United Kingdom, it was absolutely compulsory as part of a specific module that myself and my peers had to take part in 2 weeks work experience. It would be rather interesting to know how this differs around the world. Was it necessary at your school? What did you do for your work experience? Let me know in the comments section down below. I was sat upstairs in my bedroom the other day and it suddenly dawned on me that this year, 2020, will mark 8 years since I left compulsory education. Yes, for those wondering, I left school in the summer of 2012, and leaving school was a glorious time of my life. Now, when I was at school and did work experience, we had the option to either find the work experience ourselves or have the school find it for us. At the start, I tried to look for my own work experience, but after contacting several workplaces in different areas of work, I was unsuccessful to find anything. So I turned to my school for some help in finding a placement. Luckily, they came back to me and I was assigned my work experience role. I would be working at a nursery here in my hometown. When I heard this news, I remember feeling relieved, nervous, and also excited. I was relieved and excited because I had always wanted to work in a nursery with young children, and nervous because this was a big thing for me. I knew I needed to make a good impression, and I really wanted to make a good impression as well. This was important for me at the time if I wanted to continue my passion working with young children in nurseries. As many of you will know, I didn't take up any further opportunities working with children, but I would still very much love to work with young children, especially those of the nursery age range. I don't know why, I just always have felt that way from a very young age. But anyway, my work experience was due to begin in early 2011, and as mentioned, it would be for 2 full weeks. Looking back now, I think that 2 weeks is a reasonable amount of time for work experience. Sometimes other schools only did it for a week or even just a few days, but 2 weeks sounds perfect to me, just in terms of getting yourself into a routine, getting used to the job you are doing, and really just feeling a part of your team. Plus, it gives you a reasonable amount of time to decide whether this is something that you'd enjoy doing for a proper paid job in the future. I worked from 9 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon, Monday to Friday. And long story short, I loved it. It was a little strange for me to be in that kind of environment, especially, for the first few days. But once I got used to it, I just loved it. Some, but not all of my roles during my work experience placement was helping feed the children, playing little games with the children, supervising them, just generally, keeping them safe, making sure they're all okay. Singing nursery rhymes with them was a very, very cute thing. And just, things like that, typical stuff. There was one particular child that seemed to really like me, and her name was Elizabeth. She was around 2 years old at the time, and she was just completely adorable, you guys. I remember every day she would come into the nursery, she would be wearing these beautiful, dresses. It reminded me exactly of how my mum used to dress me when I was her age, 2-year-old. She would always, want to sit with me, sit near me when we were playing games, or if we would watch television for a little bit. And I did actually cry a little bit when I left my work experience placement because of that child in particular, because I felt like we had kind of made a little bond, and it was, it was just sweet. The staff were always friendly, although sometimes they were a little bit unorganized as to which group I would be with and for how long. The nursery I was at for my placement separated their children into groups, and those groups basically depended on what age the children were. These age groups went from very, very young babies all the way up to around 4 years of age. The only group I didn't get to spend time with was the babies of the nursery, but every other group I got to spend a lot of time with. I'm not going to lie, every now and again I would peer into the area of the nursery where they would hold the babies and be a little bit jealous of those who were supervising them, but it was just the rules of the nursery. I wasn't allowed to be in there with them. I wasn't allowed to carry or pick up any of the children either, which is understandable. That was just another rule of the placement. That second rule wasn't actually explained to me at all by the nursery until I accidentally picked up one of the children who were crying, and a staff member basically said, look, you're not allowed to pick up or carry any of the children. But at the end of the 2-week placement, the nursery wrote a review on me, which was a positive one, and sent it back to my school. During my time there, I was also meant to fill out like a work experience workbook, which I probably still have somewhere. It might be just, in storage. In conclusion, though, I definitely think that doing a work experience placement at school, it gave me a glimpse into working life. I think it's an experience which should be compulsory for students to do. It was very enlightening. I think it's good in that it's something different rather than, the typical going to school each day. It preps you for working life. It allows you to explore the working world a little bit and have a routine, which is similar to having a real life job. I was lucky with my work experience because I just loved doing it. But I did hear of others that really hated their work experience roles. The only negative for me really was that the placement was in a nursery that was way over the other side of town from where I lived. So I had to get a bus and then walk for a good 20 minutes, half an hour, there and back every day. But it was fabulous. And it was an experience that still to this day I actually look back very fondly on. So what was your work experience like at school? If you had any, if you did any, let me know in the comment section down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, please go ahead and click on that subscribe button. Thanks for watching once again, and I hope to see you in my next video.